What's going on, Epic Gamers? Welcome back. My name is WalknDinner, and welcome to another cringe video. Today we'll be looking at and rating Undertale and my personal favorite, Deltarune's bosses. Yes, I know in the subtitles, Deltarune is not capitalized. That is just how it is spelled on screen, so deal with it. L plus R. Thank you for Xylophone Exists for making this. So anyway, we're going to start from the worst and work our way up from there. Our lowest tier, otherwise known as Low Tier God, if you know, you do know. It's really just filled with 4 bozos that just could not hold up. First off, we got C Round. He's gone in like a few seconds. He's barely a boss, and it just uses the vanilla fight theme. Next up, we have Sweet Cap and Cakes. Next up, we got Sweet Cap and Cakes. Their fight takes far too long, the music is overused, and I just failed to be interested and dread this boss every time I play Chapter 2. Next, the initial Flowey fight at the beginning of Undertale. Not awful, but it still deserves to a place as it isn't really a fight and more of a cutscene, which for a boss monster is not really gamer. The last one on my list is Mettaton Neo. Chief, if you hype up something and make such a cool design, let me frickin' fight him. It's not that hard. Plus the music is pretty mid. Okay, now that I've accepted my death, because someone's gonna kill me this video, how about our next tier? Why? We have a few here, so I'm not gonna spend much time on it because I don't have an attorney and want this video to be shorter, so the YouTube algorithm likes it. First up, we got Glide. Here he is. I never really saw or fought them, but they just seem kind of like a glorified normal enemy, so kind of mid. Next, Doggo. There isn't anything really, wrong with him. He's a fine tutorial to everyone's favorite blue stop signs, but he's not much more than that. Then we got Clover. Not much is wrong, but like Glide, he's just a glorified normal enemy. Nothing stands out. And I'm not counting this quiz version. That isn't a boss, it's a mini game. Now to seal my fate, I'm gonna put K Round. I just don't really like him that much, and his boss music is not my favorite. I think that wraps up why. So, we are moving on to mid at best. Now, I dare say I'm gonna get the most hate from this category because I have some hot takes here. First up, Napstablook. He's a good enough fight, but it is held back by a minuscule length, and it essentially just uses the track dummy, albeit with a few differences. Great idea, but the execution was flawed. The initial Mettaton battles are here, as I think the battles were a bit short and it never really felt like a fight, more of an act. However, it has some well-executed ideas and the music is an absolute bop. Next, Task Manager. Not much to say about her. She suffers from a similar flaw to Glide, in that she kind of feels like a glorified normal enemy, but unlike them, she has some actually amazing bullet patterns, so she makes it a tier above. I'm going to put Rules Card here, as his patterns are only okay, and the battle just never hit right. The music is pretty good though. Chaos King is here because despite his rocking OST, there really are not 2 ways to take him on, which just kind of ruins the Deltarune feel, because most enemies in the game you can fight peacefully, including bosses. Obviously, it's an Undertale spinoff. Or is Undertale a spinoff of Deltarune?
Shut your stupid...
Finally, probably my hottest take in this entire video, the last mid-tier character is Sans. Oh! Now, before you grab your 12 gauge and find my IP, just let me explain. Maybe it's just a massive skill issue, but from other people's videos on it, a running theme I notice is that the boss is just too hard. It isn't that he's hard to kill. I wouldn't dock points for that, but he's so hard that you just can't take in the emotions that his death should bring you. As when you win, you are so tired and full of relief, it just nullifies the meaning of the fight. It would have gone a tier up, I think, if he was an easy boss, as that would give you a stronger message of him trying and failing to beat you, meaning that even the weakest of the weak is desperately trying to stop you. Also, just to seal my fate one more time, Megalovania isn't the best, but his fight is fun, so he's still going to secure a mid-tier fight. Alright, pretty epic tiers. These are awesome fights with a few falls. First, Lancer and Susie. This is a really fun fight with a great remix of Lancer's theme, but it is a tad short and easy. Second, Royal Guards. Really fun dynamic between the two guards, and patterns are fun, but it does still feel a bit vanilla. Third, Omega Flowey / Photoshop Flowey / Thick Boy Flowey. Pretty epic conclusion to the neutral route, but it feels like it slightly overstays its welcome. Fourth, Giga Queen. A bit long, but a fun interchange. Next, Mad Dummy, who despite being an awesome fight is stupidly hard on your first playthrough. Then, we got Muffet, who has some of the best music in the entire game. But she also, as Dummy prior, way too hard. I still haven't beat her normally, and I have played Undertale through a minimum of 3 times. Next, we have Greater Dog. Good, but a tad short. Then, Undyne. Really cool fight, but a bit confusing at first, which isn't great. And then, we have Dogami and Dogaressa. Same as Greater Dog. Good, but a tad short. Finally, we have come to the best bosses. The absolute chads of Undertale Indulgence. Nothing to say about them, as I believe they are as perfect as these bosses can get. They are Queen, Asgore, Azrael Dreamer, Azrael Phase 2, Spamton Neo, Toriel, Mettaton EX, Papyrus, Undyne the Undying, Mad Mew Mew, Birdly, Other Birdly, and everyone's favorite clown around town, Jevil. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Once again, shout out to Xylophone Exists for making this. Thank you so much, and hey, stay epic guys. I'm gonna accept my death now.